Hey everybody, this is Petey from the Spinner Rack, and today I wanted to do something to say about Arthur Adams. He is one of the fan favorites of the 80s, and he's the name that everyone will go to when they say one of the best artists out there. Now, as I said, I was going to try to chase the hot books, so I pulled out these couple issues of The Authority, but I couldn't make any sense of them. I know that they're hot books. Got some great art in there, some funky characters. I look at that stuff, but I can't make a connection to this stuff. Not sure what's going on, and but you can see Art Adams kind of giving you a little bit of Frank Quitely in him. You can see some of the stuff that Quitely got from Art Adams, and can in turn we reverse it the other way, right? Having the guy who might have inspired him do this book, right? Since I can't make a heads or tails of it, when I bought it back in the day, I did sort of understand it, but I couldn't necessarily. As of right now, I definitely can't get into it. So we would do Arthur Adams books that I like. I wanted to do some more Arthur Adams. I already showed you some stuff. There's some X-Men stuff that I liked. New Mutants, X-Men, and other X-Men. Holiday special. This is really good. I'm doing this at some point for Christmas. Don't worry, it's happening. I think he did an insert of New Mutants in there. And then, since we're here, before I get to Tom Strong's terrific stories, just the Arthur Adams segment in there, I want to point this book out here. Creature from the Black Lagoon. Now this is Arthur Adams, Steve Purcell, and Terry Austin. And this is a book that should be a Treasury type edition. If you look at this, look at the detail on these small shots. It's just dying to be blown up into some sort of Treasury type thing. And I know it's just the, I guess it's the Loch Ness. No, it's not the Loch Ness. This is Creature from Black Lagoon. Sorry. But there's so much storytelling in here. Just think it's a book just asking to be blown up. And most of Arthur Adams stuff should be blown up like, say, like this size, like that. Or did I have this out the other day? So I'll grab a different one. Something this size, right? Let's get these guys out of here. But he's still, pretty, hot with the fans. But here's a trade edition of Johnny Future that came out of these things. But you know what it is? It's the foreign language edition. I thought it was the English. And I'll get to these sort of stories. Look at this sort of detail that you just love to get blown up, right? And I say, as far as his sketchbooks, these things go up in price, right? Oh no, forgot there's some scantily clad stuff in here. So let's do just the titillating stuff right here. So I have a bunch of these and some cool stuff in there. So why can't we get a Treasury edition of Arthur Adams' book post, maybe of Johnny Future, maybe of Monkey Man and O'Brien, right? And but since I said all that, let's quickly go through this. Tom Strong's Terrific Tales introduced a new character that we hadn't seen in the Tom Strong book. This is written by Steve Moore, right? So this is your opening shot, and that's, once again, imagine if it was blown up to nth degree, right? You get to see all that detail on the page, but it's just a what a great start at this is, I think this is a family heirloom. It said the house can't be resold, so she takes it over, and we've already seen the cover. So when we've seen some, I think they talked about it before. We know that she's got a body, right? So she's kind of walking around. We got hints of it But it's just some gorgeous art and very detailed. Hence why we don't get it monthly. He's always hinted that, oh, he never really tried to do monthly, but every time he does a monthly, he's kind of drawn into a bunch of other things, which I think it was supposed to be a backup in the first in the was it a backup in the it was a backup in the first Hellboy series, right? So you got Monkey Man O'Brien was supposed to come out, and Hellboy was supposed to be in that in the backup in that series, but it never happened. So, President the Wolves of St. Augustine in Dark Horse Presents, right? So, one night while she's there alone, she hears some stirring or sees a tail, and she follows it. She's not scared, and she sees this wolf-like creature. And this is something similar to the creature we saw in the X-Men Annual #9. And she hits it with mace. It runs away. She follows it, and she sees that the ladder leads somewhere else. Sees that this creature's having a panic attack. She decides she's going to help him. And this was his plan all along, to bring her to see this other world, right? And he wants her to put this helmet on. And now he can understand her. And this is almost like a Fortress of Solitude of this sort of 50s type of spaceman guy, adventurer, like I guess like Buck Rogers, but a little with more real fancy sort of alien stuff in his, look at this sort of art. Like, come on, this is killer, right? It at least should get a U.S. trade, right? Or maybe if you guys already have one, let me know, right? So that establishes her. Ooh, seeing double. So, of course, Arthur Adams does Great Babes, and this one is going to be far beyond what we saw in the last. And the other stories in here are cool too. So, I'm not saying don't go out and read or buy the entire series, but this is pretty cool too, right? And this is our big reveal of Jonni Future, and we get a hint of who her relative, and of course Jamal is kind of taken with her, and this is a hint that goes through the entire series. A cool ship that's like a giant fish, and then they go out into this spaceways, but they get a hint of what happened to them, right? And everything is just like some sort of 20th century Wally Wood type of thing. Something that a book Wally Wood would probably do pretty well, right? Even the creatures have bodies, right? So we get all this. And figure out how to get it to move on. Our uncle was Johnny's relative. And just like these creatures are drawn to this, Jonni is drawn to this at the same time too, right? How long are we gonna go? Let's see how far we can get. We're gonna hit the 20-minute mark and we're gonna break. All right? There's a ton of cool stuff in here, but let's go to the next story. So see, it's gonna be a lot of as they say, titillating stuff in here. So, yeah, imagine all this blown up with this amount of detail. I don't know how long it takes him, but I think there's a delay at some point. There's a couple issues that he isn't in, that he didn't draw. Maybe one or two, right? And this is the best way to make a spaceship is take some sort of insect and turn it into a spaceship. I think there've been turtles that have been turned into a spaceship in X-Men. I think like a bee has been turned into one of the Starjammers ships. So I think the Lander ship is like some sort of bug. It's the best way to do a spaceship, right? So yep, this is Jonni going around there. But this is the thing: if you're a really fan of his stuff, this is sort of thing that people should have purchased so we could get some more of Arthur Adams, right? And finds a creature, sort of like the reverse of Jabba the Hutt. And yeah, so since Arthur Adams was the drawer, he's drawing most of the covers. Let's quickly get through that. This tale starts with a witch hunt. She tries to trick these guys, it doesn't work. The witch is at World's End. And these Westerners go into something they haven't even planned on, this sort of Babylon in their eyes, right? And this, I think there's different statue. He didn't, can't see if this one matches into any of these here. So it's like really, man, it'd be crazy if someone tried to animate this stuff, right? And they're terrible. Look at that. These guys. They see everything connected to stuff in the Bible, right? Well, at least they got these guys to calm down. So these sort of like really what you'd, I guess, no, it's not something you'd see in, I gotta think what comic book in the past was this similar to. I can't think of any. I could be wrong. So let me know what book outside of, Weird Science, but Weird Science really wouldn't have this sort of thing. You'd see a couple of issues that have that sort of stuff. If we get into the Jerry Ordway stuff, then we're really down. We're really not going to get anywhere. It's going to be way over. We've got 15 minutes left in the Garden of Sklin. See, what did I tell you? But this is like, I think George Perez said when he worked with Arthur Adams on a Wonder Woman annual, he did like one of the stories in there. He said it was a lot of cheesecake, but it was Art Adams. So I think that's the easiest way to describe what he's doing. And then I think Steve Moore is really playing to that, right? Giving you a lot of cheesecake in here. But then this is a good, even though you see all this stuff at the same time, this is a very good side story that's going on through here. So there's two, and I think Walter Simonson had done this in the Fantastic Four. I think Byrne has done it, but he split the comic book in half. They have this story that's developing, but then at the same time something's happening to her here, right? And these plans are just sort of drawing her in, doing all this stuff. Everything is overtly sexual in here, right? But someone else has her, right? And none of them can speak. It's really a cool effect, having the thought balloons, but the expressiveness of Arthur Adams' art at the same time in this silent sequence. So see how cool this is? Yeah. Even though there's a lot of cheesecake, there is some storytelling, right? And they're stripping her out of everything. And then they're half nude. They're chasing her. They almost got her. Look at this, and then freed. See, what actually happened was she got knocked up by these flowers, and the flowers have been trying to, entice her entire time, right? And it's got a lot of weird, sort of heavy-duty science, so it feels like you getting a lot in here, and the artwork kind of plays up to that too, right? And they do this EMP sort of pulse to stop it. And to some extent, she's saved, but so yeah, I don't know, 17 minutes. We're not done, I think. Oh, here. So this is the funky one. This one, the coloring's out of whack. The black line isn't all here anymore. Well, maybe they planned it that way, right? So when you see here, the black line is not on some of this stuff. So I feel like it's a printing error, but let's check. Let's check this out. You stay here. Nope, same way. New script, no change in the inking. All right. Trying to find Jamal, but she sees that he was taken. All right. So of course, you have to have the getting in and out of the clothing. And this is like dying. You're giving you your dying wish, right? That's what they're doing to Jamal. And she figured a way to slip in. But what is Jamal's dream before he dies? Is, of course, So she saved him, but she found out his secret desire, and she says she didn't even look. Yeah, right. All right. How many issues we got? All right, we're gonna do. Feels like we're gonna get through it, but I think at this point, where is it? Did we skip? I think we skipped an issue. Oh, 9 is the issue we skipped, right? Looks like this cover had the same issue that, get another great artist, Jason Pearson, but I'm not doing it. Told you I'm not doing it. All right. So this one, you're going after the Moonjacker, right? So it gives us the story of the Moonjacker and decides she's going to handle it, right? She gets in her outfit and heads off. Look at all the stuff that he's stolen. This is, wow. All right, so she goes off. Gets through the defenses. Finds his home. Endymion Sin, known as the Moonjacker, but I prefer a Moon Lover, right? So it comes a reason he sort of charms his way to keeping the moon. Yep. So we know what might have happened there, and Jamal might have figured it out, right? So we're almost there. How much time we got? Now this one, Kevin Nolan does the finishes on it. So it's an interesting mix. It's not that same detail that we had, but it's real strange to see Kevin Nolan really be faithful to another artist, right? I believe they got their Uncle John's head, right? And running the Cancer Blue, right? She's like kind of a Terminator in space, but of course, it's got a killer body, right? And being so used to Arthur Adams inking, this is really kind of interesting. Of course, this time they don't get across. And I think is that but inside. Nope. And Arthur Adams does the inks, but then Kevin Nolan adds some additional inks to this. So somehow she makes it through to get back home, of course, conveniently. Cancer Blue is giving these guys some sort of cyber cancer. I think there's another issue. I think there is, but I'm not sure. I think this is all I have. But wait, we have this. Let's see. I did Cancer Blue. Oh yeah, there is another issue. Issue where she meets the real Johnny Future. All right. Let's see how it is. Oh, spotted him. Right. And I thought one of these issues was drawn by his wife and inked by him, but I'm not sure. Couldn't call it, right? So they get to interact. It's wacky as a male outfit, but we're used to seeing it as a female. Here's the sketchbook. Get to see some of the cool sketches that were done for it. All right. And this great edition. All right, so we did it. 30 minutes. We paged through Terrific Tales. So now we need to get a Treasury omnibus of this, an omnibus of this, and Monkey Man O'Brien omnibus. Because, I mean, everyone that is his, there's so many, like, there's that Bradshaw guy, there's J. Scott Campbell, there's a lot of artists that are not Arthur Adams clones, but take a lot from him. Same like Rob Liefeld and, and Todd McFarlane, right? And of course, Arthur Adams has a lot of, I guess, Frazetta, you can see here, and Michael Golden in there, in his art. But yeah, I mean, if you guys are a fan, we should all work together to get more Arthur Adams books. Spinner Rack out.